Hi guys, welcome to the Lambeth Made Podcast. I'm Valentina here with...
I'm Tyra.
And we have a special guest today who is Anthony Dziworshie. Please introduce yourself and what you do.
My name is Anthony Dziworshie. I work for Ogilvy as a senior creative. My actual full title is a senior creative art director. Been working in the creative industry for about 16 years in different roles to kind of like get to where I've got to.
Can you give us a breakdown of your journey? 16 years is a long time.
Yeah. So I started out... originally I went to Coulson College and I studied kind of art and design, but it wasn't something that I really enjoyed. And that was partly because with art and design, you always have to reference the artist that you want to do work like. And I always found that kind of like stunted my creativity, and I always wanted to kind of create something new and fresh. So it got to a point, I spent 2 years there and it didn't really work itself out. I wasn't really enjoying it. So I basically went to Croydon College. I found a course that was called ND Graphics, which was a BTEC, was a 2-year course, and then you get into university. So I did that with the help of my friends because I was crap at actually designing, like in terms of Photoshop, but I was really good with the idea side. So I did that for 2 years. Then I got into university and I went to Croydon College Higher Education. And basically the first year didn't really work out for me. Like I said, I wasn't really good at graphic design in terms of the actual designing, the Photoshop part. And I really got on with my lecturer, and he said, if you basically come off the course, so basically halfway through the course, you go up against people reviewing your work, and they basically decide whether you get to carry on or not. And he had an honest conversation with me. He said that I wouldn't make it past in terms of my work wasn't good enough. So he said that if I jumped off the course, I'll be able to go on another course that he had coming up, was digital media production. And he said that he thought I would enjoy that more because my work kind of spoke more to like film rather than just graphic design. So I had to jump off the course. And basically for half a year, I had to kind of like just chill. And like my mum was kind enough to buy me an Apple Mac, and that got me a lot more kind of active with using a Mac and stuff like that. And then went back in, spent 2 years doing the digital media production course, essentially got an internship at MTV. Do you want me to go through the whole journey or
yes,
a little?
Yeah.
So got an internship at MTV, and at the time I had my son, so it was all a bit of a chaotic time. And when I say chaotic time, it's kind of like I just finished university. I didn't really have the career built, and I wasn't bringing in the money that I was hoping. So I was kind of figuring it out as I went. But he was the biggest blessing because it kind of shaped who I am today and kind of gave me more of a kind of like burst to kind of try to make it in my career. So I was at MTV for about a year and a half, kind of got up to, so started as an intern, went to a production assistant, then became a junior researcher. Then after that, I went to a company, so basically a company called Red Bee, but they worked on a lot of the BBC's content. So it's like Red Bee BBC. I was there went in there as an assistant and then made my way up to kind of like a junior creative. I was there for about 3 years. Then I went to ITV, started out as a ITV creative. Started out as a junior creative and was there for 9 years and eventually kind of left as kind of like a senior creative. So that's all broadcast. Then I made the move around 2.5 years ago to Ogilvy. And Ogilvy are kind of like one of the top, you most probably could say top 3 to 5 like agencies or creative agencies in the world. So I made the move into advertising, like officially. So I was always working in creative departments, but this was the first time that I'd worked in kind of like advertising. And it's been a fun journey so far. It's mental because it's like super busy, but yeah, that's a bit of kind of how I got there. But I've always been creative and kind of working in and amongst Lambeth, Croydon, working with different designers, different graphic designers, different videographers. So kind of I've been born and raised in this area.
That's
Done
impressive.
quite a bit. You mentioned that you were creative at ITV. What was like your
Yeah.
day-to-day looking like when you were doing that?
So as a creative working at ITV, so we worked on a lot of the campaigns. So working on the campaigns, you're working on advertising the shows that are on ITV. So for instance, I could be working on Love Island. I could be working on the Rugby World Cup. And what the day-to-day would look like is you will be working on trailers, kind of. So you'd have to come up with creative executions on how you can kind of execute this trailer or this. So that's the day-to-day. But trailer is in, you could have something that's 20 seconds, 30 seconds, but then you could be working on an entire campaign. And that entire campaign could be something that's like out of home. So do you guys know what out of home is?
No.
So out of home is, so you know when you see these big billboards or you see bus stops and the ad shells, that's
are
what's
out of home,
recorded out of home. So they would call it OOH.
Okay.
And that's what you would kind of see it as. So out of home is how your creative idea, so you would come up with a nugget of an idea and build it out, work with designers, work with motion designers, work with editors to kind of bring your vision to life. And that was the day-to-day, kind of coming up with loads of ideas for stuff like that. So I was lucky enough to have a lot of award-nominated work or award-winning work. I was given like opportunities. I think it's always important that when you're in a creative space or when you're in any space, to be completely honest, that you find like mentors and people who believe in your ability and like want to support you and push you forward. So I think I'm good at what I do. But I also know that I was kind of helped along the way in terms of giving opportunity.
Oh, we love that. You mentioned that you had mentorship or you had assistance from your lecturer when you was trying to like figure out what you wanted to do. And growing up in Lambeth, I can imagine in that era, the field for like black young people to get into the creative industry was quite slim. So did you see yourself in the position you are today? Was it a realistic career path for you?
How was it for me? I've been lucky. My mum was kind of like a creative person at heart.
Okay.
She was, my mum is most probably my biggest inspiration.
Love that.
She came to the UK as a 17-year-old and, so apologies. She came to the UK as a 17-year-old from Ghana. So she's from Ghana, I'm from Ghana. And she studied nursing. She came by herself. So she had to kind of like make her way. She was on a kind of scholarship for nursing. And she always found literature something that she loved. So she was always kind of quite creative, quite open to different things. But obviously when I came along, my family were definitely like, what are you doing with this art stuff? where is it going to get you?
Yeah.
And that it wasn't realistic to them for me to kind of like pursue a creative field. They didn't really understand it. So they didn't really support my dream. But my mum did. So you always have one person in your corner that really believes in you. Or more so than just believing in you, they want to see you happy because, like for instance, I've got a son who's 18.
Yeah.
And like, I want to be able to support his vision of whatever he thinks it is he wants to do. Because at the end of the day, it's when you get into a career, especially a path that you want to do for years, you have to be happy in it. Because if you don't, it will eventually show up and you'll be unhappy and it will affect different parts of your life. So, she always supported me and she always kind of believed in me. So when I got opportunities to do creative stuff, and like as a child, like I used to love like building Lego, and just like one of my favorite films is Star Wars. And it's most probably something that now people say is geeky, but it was always something that like I saw that if someone can create a world and actually come up with the idea, script it, think about how it looks, set build it, collaborate with different artists to create that vision and bring it to life. That's very much what I wanted to do. And that's kind of how I've ended up in this field, because I always saw that collaboration was a strength.
Yeah.
It's like what you're not good at. If you can work with someone else who is good at that thing, you can bring your skills together.
And I really appreciate your transparency in the importance of collaboration. I feel like that's one thing that the youth actually struggle with.
Yeah.
I feel like when we actually get to a point where you probably left school and you feel like you've ended a milestone, but I feel like there's a lot of imposter syndrome where they fear asking for help, or especially like with social media and I feel like there's a lot of competition and they don't really feel comfortable to put something out there because they see other people excelling, and the exposure to other people's success is kind of limiting them. So I really appreciate the fact that you shared your journey and actually you are the person who you wanted. Because to let you guys know as well, I did actually do a digital marketing course, and Anthony came along and gave us a lovely program. And you really broke down and really explained everything very like articulately. And for you, it was probably just a next lesson, but for me, it was actually so inspirational to actually see. I would have never thought that there was someone who was working with Love Island, because you would see the show, you see what's, as I was saying, as young people, we see the result, but we don't actually know what's going on behind the scenes.
What's going on,
so
which is sometimes bigger than the actual.
Yeah, it was really inspirational, and if anything, it like gave me confidence to actually believe that there is space for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
for sure.
As you said, yeah, it does actually take a collective to actually produce something, and there has to be unity for there to be a community. Yeah, well, I love the way you actually mentioned to trust the process. And seeing as you really did have a long haul journey, what advice would you offer young people, or what advice would you offer Lambeth as well, how they can help and assist the young people to foster in the creative, to get into the creative field, and what kind of guidance would you put in place? Or if you was in a position to actually be in control, what would you do? How would you?
Like, you have to believe in yourself, and you have to like not give a F. If you worry about other people's opinions, there's a saying, well, I won't say it here, but like, you can't worry about other people's opinions, because at the end of the day, everyone's got an opinion.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's about, one thing I've realized, obviously, the getting older and having an 18-year-old son, I can definitely say that as you get older, you realize that life is short. And one thing that they say is the place in the world that has the most regrets is a cemetery. People who, if you don't worry about, what people think, who's going to have an opinion, because it always starts off with one person, like the belief that you have in yourself, first and foremost. Find like-minded people who are willing to collaborate, who are willing to, just as much as you want other people to listen, you also have to be a sponge and be able to listen yourself. So I would say places like Lambeth Made, doing more stuff like this gives young people more opportunity to have a safe space and actually learn from each other. Even things that, like what we're doing now. We have this opportunity because Lambeth Made has given us the opportunity to speak, for me to even kind of give back information that you guys can run with. I think that if you don't have a place where you can go to be around like-minded people, but also people who can teach you. So I had to go to, like, let's say university, college, to kind of get that tutoring and that belief. I don't think that is the only way to learn. Yeah. And I don't think, if I'm honest, everyone will always have the opportunity to go to university or go to college. It's neat. Places like Lambeth Made will open the doors to, the bigger it gets, will open the doors to like-minded people coming together and actually like learning. Because like I was saying, the one thing that anybody has that you can't get rid of is regret.
Yeah.
And as you get older, you will kind of like kick yourself if you don't kind of like take the opportunity to do the thing that you really want to do, like whether it's creativity, whether it's storyboarding, whether it's filming, whether it's editing, whether it's acting, whatever it is, you just need a safe space to be able to kind of do that to the fullest. But again, the same thing we were speaking about earlier in terms of imposter syndrome is put that to the side. If you have people that are like-minded, you'll just find that the meshing and people coming together and learning from one another just happens so much quicker and so much faster. And at the end of the day, what the end product that we see on TV, on YouTube, on Instagram, that's the end product of a lot of work, a lot of collaboration. But those ideas, they can come from anywhere and anybody. And it doesn't, like, what will happen is, say, for instance, you have a idea for a short film or for a film. The best thing to do is to come together with, again, like-minded people and make a trailer for it. Mm-hmm. Make a trailer for it. And the more you do and the more people who see it, you don't know what opportunity. Someone might say, do you know what? That's a wicked idea. I'm going to invest in it. But you have to make the thing. So if Lambeth Made can create opportunities that help people make things, then more opportunities will arise from those and it will shock people. When, like, for instance, in my workplace, we have people come in who do work experience and they write on different briefs for different brands. When they get the opportunity and like some of the ideas that you see, you're like, oh, wow. Like it's like really out there and it's really creative, but it's not down to they've come from this place or that place. It's just that they have a good idea. And therefore, if it's a really good idea and it speaks to the brief, they'll present it to the clients. So never not worry, or never worry to the extent that you won't put something forward, because sometimes in like a classroom, people are afraid to put their hands up, and you just have to be brave. Like, especially if it's something you love, just don't have regrets and think to yourself when you like leave somewhere, like, oh, I didn't say something. But like I said, the opportunities that hopefully Lambeth Made, and the bigger it gets, you'll have more like-minded people and make some very good stuff.
Yeah, we love that. You mentioned that that you had support from your mum from a very young age, mm-hmm. which is what helped push you and encourage you to go into your field. And you also mentioned that you're a father to an 18-year-old.
Yeah.
And I love the point that you made that everyone would always have an opinion. And I really feel like that's the one thing that actually, I feel like that's the one thing that kind of swifts people away from having a safe space, because there's actually children who's put in classrooms with teachers who can't relate to them, but they can just give an opinion. And I feel like that's what actually I appreciate about you, is that you're very authentic and transparent about who you are, and you also give advice based on your experience. So as a father, what challenge do you think that the youth are facing right now, and how do you guide your child?
So the thing about having an 18-year-old child is, as much time as you spend with them and like nurturing them, a lot of nurturing is coming from their schools and their teachers, more importantly. So it's important that teachers have the right mindset and are not only open and honest, but supportive.
Yeah.
I think that one of the things that I try to do is I try to support like his dreams. And so he wants to go into he wanted to go into engineering, and he might still, but he studies in electrical installation at the moment, and I'm here for whatever he wants to do. I'm definitely somebody who tries to kind of like push to get the best out of him, to make him realize what power and what strength lies within him. Mm-hmm. But the main thing is kind of, if you have as a parent, I think it's important for parents to also check on their kids to kind of like say like, you know, how's everything going? Like my son was like, almost if you say like I annoy him with that, but I think it's important that
it is important. I feel like some parents, they're not supportive, or they just don't really know what their kid actually wants to do in terms of dreams. And I feel like it's so important
100%.
to be involved and know
100%.
what your kid wants to do and know their dreams and be so supportive of them, because where else are they going to get that support if it's not from their family? I think that's a wrap for today.
That's a wrap. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming down.
No worries. No
really
worries.
do appreciate the valuable information you gave us. And would you like to leave any of your social media so anyone knows?
We can add that
find
below,
you?
to be fair.
Do I want people contacting me on social media? No, so my Instagram is Ants Canvas, spelled ANTZCANVAS. If you have any questions or I can be of any guidance, feel free to DM me and I'll message you back. If you want any guidance as to how to get into the industry, or you have an idea that you're not sure how to do, I can definitely give you pointers on how to do it, and hopefully you can get the support as well through Lambeth Made.
Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And that is a wrap. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.